The Auburn Tigers remain perfect in SEC play. Let's talk about it on this live edition of the Uptempo Podcast. What is up, Auburn family? What's up, Uptempo family? How are we doing on this Thursday afternoon? I'm flying solo today. Everybody, stay with Dustin. Keep up with him, man. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Excuse me. He's got some stuff going on. Hopefully, he'll be back Sunday. But let's get in here and talk about these Auburn Tigers tonight. How about the showing Tuesday night with the Oklahoma Sooners coming to town? What an absolute beatdown. I know I got on here Tuesday and said that I thought 17 and a half was a bit too much of a spread. I thought, an SEC game, this was an Oklahoma team that was finding their groove. They were starting to play with a little rhythm offensively. I just felt like 17 and a half was a little too much. And I can't remember who got in the comments and said that, we won by 20 plus, but hey, hell of a call right there. Auburn just took Oklahoma's offense completely out of the arena the other night. So super, super defensive effort from the Auburn Tigers. I thought Chad Baker-Mazara was magnificent. I thought he got into the minds, the brains of the Oklahoma Sooners. I know he ended up getting, the review and the foul and fouling out and all that, ejected, whatever you want to call it. And that happened, but I feel like he really got in the cranium of the Oklahoma Sooners, and he was in there rent free. And that's how Chad plays. A lot of people say that they want him to tone it down. Me personally, that's just who he is. That's the type of player he is. And as long as you don't throw any elbows and hit people in the neck, you're good. You're good. We can take a review, and that's how he plays. So I think Chad Baker, just keep being you, dog. Keep being you. Elite defense, shot making. Just keep being the player that you are. We would take you night in and night out. One person I want to give a huge shout out to is Denver Jones. Denver Jones is the best two-way guard in the country. That's offensively and defensively what he does on both ends of the court together. And this is a guy that is a two guard playing the point for Auburn because we missed on Pegues. All right. And I had this conversation on TikTok. Everybody was down in Trey Donaldson. They were like, oh, yeah, Auburn should go far this year because Trey, he's not their point guard. He went to Michigan. And I was like, well, I would kind of rather have Trey Donaldson on the roster than having JP Pegues. And they were like, well, this take's irrelevant because JP Pegues doesn't even play. And I was like, well, that's my point. Is I'm not saying Trey Donaldson would be a starter, but he would relieve some of those minutes from Denver at the point and allow Tahad and Denver not to have to handle the ball so much. Get what I'm saying? Like, I would have rather had Trey back on this roster. But what the job Denver has done in that role has been phenomenal. And when he gets it going from three, look out. I feel like when he is in his groove offensively, you're not beating Auburn. You're not. If Denver Jones has it going to the rim, if he can hit the tray from outside, that just makes Auburn unstoppable to beat. And he's going to have his off nights. He's playing out of position, right? He's going to have his off nights. Sorry, y'all. My wife just texted me. I apologize. He's going to have his off nights. But what he brings you defensively and then offensively at the other end from playing such hard defense. You look in the league, you look in the NBA, y'all. A lot of guys are just one-way players. They don't put all the effort on the defensive end because they know they got to go score 30 a game offensively. So when you watch Denver and the night he had the other night, like you have to respect that. I mean, 4 for 4 from the field. He had 13 points. I think he was perfect from behind the arc. Like, you have to appreciate guys like that are on your roster. And him being a 2 guard handling the point for Bruce and this team, all because you missed JP Pegues in the portal. Denver has excelled, and he's been great. And I love his sister on TikTok. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Her tweets are great. Like, I enjoy her as a follow. She stands up for her brother. She gets on them folks, and she brings the energy to Auburn Twitter. And Dylan Cardwell. We asked Dylan Cardwell like a week ago to kind of start. I don't want to say get it together or pick it up, because he's been phenomenal all season. He's been phenomenal as an Auburn Tiger his entire career. But I felt like he needed to bring a spark, less fouling, and step up at the free throw line. He's done that. Be a bit more effective offensively. And he's done that. Get strong hands in the paint, and he's done that. Dylan's been great. I think his shot blocking at the rim without fouling has gotten better. I'm super high on this team. He's inserted himself offensively. He's a great passer offensively. I've always been impressed with Dylan passing the basketball. But what he brings to your team is a rim protector, a defensive-minded guy, a guy that's the backbone of this team. But now he's just giving you a little extra on offense. And that's all you need. You don't need Dylan to go get 20. You need Dylan to get you 6. If Dylan can get you 3 buckets a night, you're in good hands. If Dylan can get you 10 points a game, you're really not losing. All right. If Cardwell can get you 10, you're not losing. If Cardwell gets to double digits, this Auburn team is unbeatable in another way. So I think he has stepped his game up even further for Auburn, and cleaned it up around the rim. He's gotten a ton better lately. Heck, talked about CBM, talked about Cardwell, talked about Johni. Well, we haven't talked about Johni. Let me get to him. All right, let me get to him. So I posted a TikTok the other day, and I said, don't take the award away from Johni Broome. This is Johni Broome's award. Don't take it from him. The national media, and when I say don't take it from him, I'm talking about them, because we know Duke gets the love. We know Duke is the darling of college basketball. Coach K and all those things, the national championships, and we get it. Cameron Indoor's crazy. But don't take this away from Johni, because, in my opinion, he's the best college basketball player in the country. Now, is he the number 1 overall draft pick? No, he's not. That would be Cooper Flagg. His counterpart, his running mate in this Wooden Award. The best player in the country. All of this stuff. Like that's the guy that they compare him to. And he's a great player, y'all. He's gotten even better at Duke. He's gotten even better at Duke. And he's a true freshman. That's awesome. But you take Johni Broome off of Auburn, we're still a great team. But boy, we're nothing close to 21-1 and 9-0 in the SEC. Nothing close to it. Nothing remotely close. And somebody asked me, well, you say what Johni Broome has been doing is unmatched. How is it unmatched? They have equal stats. Well, I'll take you here. This is my argument, and I pulled this up before I started recording because I just had to talk about it. One guy does it in the Southeastern Conference, and the other guy does it in the Atlantic Coast Conference. That says enough right there. But I'm going to walk you through this. Clemson is the second best team in the ACC. They're 18-5, 10-2 in the ACC. Then you have Louisville, who is 17-6, 10-2 in the ACC. Then you have SMU, 9-3 in the ACC, 18-5 overall. Then you have Wake Forest, who is 9-3 in the ACC. They're 17-6 overall. And you have Stanford, y'all. This is where the drop-off comes from. All right? You have Stanford, 7-5 in the ACC. They are 15-8 overall. Yes, that is what it says right here. 15-8 overall. Then you have North Carolina. Boy, how the mighty have fallen, right? They're 6-5 and they're 13-10 overall. There we go. There we go. I can stop there because everybody else, that's it. That's the end of your conference. There is no more there. There's nothing else left to offer. What, do you want me to keep going and talk about Pitt, Florida State, Cal, Georgia Tech? All these teams are irrelevant. Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, Virginia, Syracuse, Boston College, NC State, and Miami. All those are irrelevant. So, do we want to go down to the SEC? Do we want to get involved and see what the SEC is doing? Here, real quick, we can make a travel right over here. All right, here we are. Bang, just like this, y'all. Auburn 9-0, 21-1 overall. Alabama 8-1, 19-3 overall. All right, let me keep I clicked off of it real quick. Florida 6-3, 19-3 overall. Missouri 6-3, 17-5 overall. Texas A&M 6-3 in conference, 17-5 overall. Tennessee 6-4 in conference, 19-4 overall. Ole Miss 6-4 in conference, 17-6 overall. Mississippi State 4-5 in conference, 16-6 overall. 5 of their 6 losses are conference losses. All right. Vandy 4-5 in the SEC, 16-6 in conference. Same thing. Vanderbilt, Kentucky 4-5 in conference, 15-7 overall. Georgia 4-6 in conference, 16-7 overall. Texas 4-6 in conference, 15-8 overall. Y'all, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Oklahoma 3-6 in conference, 16-6 overall. Arkansas, who's 14th in the SEC, y'all, is 3-6 in conference, 14-8 overall. LSU, who is 15th in the SEC, 1-8 in conference, 12-10 overall. The ACC is a 5-6 bid league. A 5-6 bid league. What are we doing here? This shouldn't even be an argument. Johni had an easy night against Oklahoma. We had a mismatch. Johni could have went for 30 if he wanted to. Johni could have went for 30. Y'all, Oklahoma couldn't handle us on the boards. We dominated. But he didn't. He chose to be a facilitator the other night. He chose to let his teammates eat. Still put up 15. The SEC, I just took you to the 14th best team in the conference, and they're 14-8 overall. They just beat Kentucky, ran them out of their own building last weekend. They're on a heater right now. They've won 3 conference games in a row. And they're 14th in the SEC. And we want to sit here and we want to keep having this conversation about Johni isn't the best player. It's Cooper Flagg. Their stats are, they're right there equal with each other. Well, one plays in the best conference and one plays in a league that's got 4, 5, maybe 6 at most bids into the NCAA tournament. And the SEC might have 13 bids into the NCAA tournament. 13 bids. That is insane. That's insane. That's insane. The fact that North Carolina still has a coach, that's how bad the ACC is? Come on, man. Tobacco Road and Duke's out here beating North Carolina by 20? Come on. And y'all want to talk about Cooper Flagg. Look, like I said on Twitter, I know he's the number 1 overall pick. I get it. He's great. But he's not better than Johni Broome in college. This award is about the best college basketball player. And right now, that's Johni Broome. I also saw a TikTok. All right, I don't know why people are so obsessed with people's age in college basketball. All right, you can't be that obsessed with it when people are out here having 9th year college football seasons. The tight end from Miami and all that. So, like, chill out with the Auburn's only winning because they're old. Who cares? Who cares? If you look at the history, that's usually what happens. The teams that stay together, the one and dones don't win the natties. It happens every now and then, but majority is your veteran teams. UConn, they stayed together. They clicked, man. They won it. Look at Virginia. I know they double dribbled, but they stayed together. They all come back after that UMBC loss. They were a veteran group. Kansas a couple years ago. They played North Carolina. They were a veteran group. They all stayed together. That's how great teams make runs in March. It's from being veterans. They stay together. They're not one and dones and off to the NBA. So you make this TikTok about Chad Becker-Mazara being 24 or 25 years old, and then you say, oh, well, Miles Kelly's 24 too. No, he's not. Look, if you're going to make the TikTok, get your facts right. If you're going to talk about Auburn and try to drag us through the mud, get your facts right. Well, Johni's 22. Okay, he's in college. He's supposed to be 22. Good for Johni. I don't get the obsessiveness with Auburn and them being a veteran team. I don't understand that, y'all. It's weird to me. What is wrong with guys staying in college and developing? Chad Becker-Mazara took the hard route. He didn't take the easy route. He took the hard route. So why are we going at Chad Baker? He had things come up in his life. He had to face adversity in life. And he did that. And now he's on the right track. So instead of saying, well, Chad Becker-Mazara is this age or whatever, who cares? He got it figured out. It took him a minute. But he got with Bruce Pearl and he got it figured out. Good for him. He's a late bloomer, man. Cool. CBM's gonna graduate from Auburn. He's gonna go to Europe and he's gonna make a lot of money and play basketball and live for free over there, and then come back to the United States or go wherever. He can travel wherever because he's gonna be making hella money over there. Cool. So it's just a weird obsession, that we're clocking these teams, man, and these people are coming out of the woodworks trying to come at Auburn in any type of way. AL.com releasing that today about Bruce. I think that's so stupid, okay? We're in the middle of a season. Keep the it doesn't matter, man. You're just trying to write an article to get it out there, to get people on Bruce's back. That's it. That's all you're doing. That is all you're doing, is to get some type of politics going. Who is the main folks who always try to start stuff with Auburn? AL.com. Every time. Bama made, baby. It's always something now. You get to the top of the mountain, man, you're number one. Everybody's looking at you. There's always something that comes up. There's always an article written. Something. Because they want to try to tear you back down. Man, let me get over here to some of these comments. I see y'all. I'm not trying to avoid y'all. I'm not. War Dam, up tempo. What's up, y'all? What's up? Let's pull some of these up. Yeah, I agree. Blake would much rather have Trey than JP. 100%. It's and it's not like I was asking Trey to play 25 minutes a game, but you're not getting any production out of JP. He was a miss. So why wouldn't you take Trey back in not a starting role? Just, hey, go give me 10 minutes right here. We're in foul trouble. Go give me 10. Go, maybe I need to extend you a little bit. Man, go give me 15 minutes. Maybe Denver needs a rest. We're up big on somebody. 18-0, Corey? Oh, shoot. I hope so, man. I hope so, for real. Chris says, flag rookie freshman of the year, Johni MVP of the year. I hope so, man. I know Duke is they're the darling. They're the darling. What's up, Auburn Dad? How you doing, brother? They are the darling. Yo, yo, yo. Up tempo gang, War Damn Eagle. What's up, Ernest? How we doing? Let's get to some more of these comments. This one is North Carolina is consistently pissing the bed. They need a coaching change, brother. Bad. We are still missing too many in the paint points. Far too many layups being missed. I agree, Bob, but our defense makes up for it. We're absolutely killing it on the defensive end. We took their two best players and took them smooth out of the game. They had 21 points combined the other night. And I told you in the pregame show that we did, they didn't have the depth to stay with Auburn. And then when you took their two best players and you smothered them, CBM got in one's head, you smothered their two best offensive guys. That was it for Oklahoma because they don't shoot it well enough. They get hot, but they're not a great shooting team past that first unit. They just don't have the depth. They don't have the guys to come off the bench and keep them in it offensively. But you're right. But we're going to have a game in the tournament where we need those points. All over 500 in the SEC, 100%, Auburn Dad. It's not even close, man. Johni is a walking double-double for sure. For sure. Blake, you can't compare apples to oranges. That's a fact. I'm truly going to be pissed if Broome doesn't get Player of the Year. Make Auburn great again. I don't want to say prepare yourself, but I just feel like Duke is the darling, man. 100%, Auburn Dad. 100%. I just feel like Duke is I feel like they're the darling. They get all the media love. They get all the attention. They've been the premier program, right? So, look for it to. You see the favorites coming out, and Cooper's like a minus 350, and Johni's like a plus 350. He's down in the Vegas odds, and Vegas usually knows, right? Like Vegas had Travis Hunter for the Heisman at minus 900, and he walked away with the Heisman. So Vegas usually knows. Bob says, if strength of schedule has anything to do with the award, Johni is clearly the Player of the Year. Shoot, man. It should. And I know they played against each other earlier in the year, but they were straight up identical. Like the stat line was the same. Thomas said Blake is heated up tonight. Yeah, I had to push this one through, man. I've been working a lot of OT. I've been extremely tired, but I had to get on here and talk about the Auburn Basketball Tigers because I feel like we're getting a little disrespected right now. Like people coming out the woodworks wanting us to lose, and I want to see us face adversity at least one time. I'm not saying I want us to lose, but I want to see how we respond. I don't want us to lose. I never want us to lose, but I want to see if we can respond the right way. You always want to see how a team handles losing. Do they let it linger, or do they take it to the locker room, they flush it, and they say, hey, let's get back to work. Let's get hungry again. Auburn's on a 14-game heater, all right? Auburn's on a 14-game heater. Do they keep eating? Or do they face adversity, have a setback, and then try to refuel and go again? That's what I'm talking about. Auburn has more quad one wins than the entire ACC, Bob says. The ACC is trash, y'all. The ACC is trash. I truly think it is the SEC and the Big 12 are your two powerhouses. Then I would throw the Big Ten in there, and then, man, I would probably go. I think the ACC is one of the worst. I think the ACC is one of the worst. Like I don't even want to put them in that like P4. You know how we do it in football, the P4 range. Like they're so bad. Let's see here. Strength of schedule won't get player of the year. They let a player putting up 40 a night two instead of double. It's true, man. It's true. It's bad to see teams like Syracuse, North Carolina, Virginia Tech. They always had some good squads. Boston College, they had some good squads back in the day. Pitt used to be a monster. They're just not what they used to be. And the ACC is trash, man. There are more quad one teams in SEC than most of other Power Four. Yeah, look, the SEC is stacked, and it's simply because of the coaching that you have allowed to come in this conference. The recruiters, the X's and O's guy, the staffs, the coaching staffs, all down the bench are great. I mean, you look at Arkansas, 14th best team in the SEC. Y'all, they got 5 stars all over the roster. They got Coach Cal. Coach Cal, the 14th best team in the SEC. Granted, first year, I know. But that's how good the conference is. They're stacked. You can see it. You saw it against Kentucky in Rupp. That team is good, and they're without Boogie Flan. They're talented. They're talented. I'm telling you. And they're the 14th best team. They could beat anybody in the country. Auburn plays them in a couple weeks. You better strap up and you better be ready because they can beat anybody. That's how good they are. They just had a stretch in SEC play where there's better SEC teams than them. But they can still get hot at any time and knock you off. That's just how good the conference is. That's how good the conference is. I don't know how the voters are going to see it, honestly. Things that bothers me is Bama, their only offense, no D, but we are great D and okay offense. Look, it's going to be a war. Auburn and Alabama is going to be a war. Both games are going to be wars. They're going to be two teams who are different styles. I think Auburn, yeah, they want to get out and run, but they really want to get in sets, run half-court offense. Alabama, man, like they want to get out and go. They want to shoot the three out of transition. Like they're run and gun, push it up the court, and then they set up the half court, and they run their sets, dribble, drive, kick, shoot the three ball. That's how they want to play, man. That's how they want to play. And look, they're really good. They're really good. I said this the other night. I think it's Auburn, Duke, Alabama, Houston, Iowa State, when healthy, Iowa State. I think then you have Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky in there that are really, really good. Are really, really good. Those are the teams that I would watch. But I think it's a big drop from Auburn, Duke, and Alabama. Those three I would put my money on to celebrate the one shining moment. I think they're just that much better than everybody else. Let's see here. Let the games play out. As an Auburn fan, I prefer being disrespected. It makes winning sweeter. That's true. That is true. 100%. It is true. I feel like Auburn plays with a chip. They play with a chip on their shoulder when they're disrespected. I feel like when Auburn starts getting love from the media is when Auburn slides off in every sport. I think that happens a lot. So yeah, I like it. I like it. I just hate some of the stuff that is brought out about Auburn and don't write cheese articles, man, and stuff like that. But look, that game against Oklahoma the other night, it was weird. There was reviews, there was stoppages. Auburn got in their head. I think the jungle rattled them. Auburn dished it around. Auburn facilitated. Auburn made shots. Shoot, I think they made like 20 more shots than Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. It was. Let's see, Oklahoma was 18 of 54 from the floor, and yeah, Auburn was 32 of 61. So you shot 52% from the floor. And look, the threes were a tick down. Obviously, like Dustin said the other night, you're not going to shoot 50% from three again. They were a tick down. You still out rebounded Oklahoma. You shot it better from the free throw line. You shot it better from the floor. Less turnovers, all that stuff, man. You beat Oklahoma in every phase of the game. And that's what you were supposed to do. Now you have a top 10 matchup coming up. You have Florida, who I think matches up with you pretty well, and they can shoot it. Is Clayton going to play? Probably. I mean, top 10 matchup on the road. He probably should play. I know he sat out against, who was it? Vanderbilt, I think. He sat out against them. Florida come back and won that game. But this is a team that I think they can do some things on the inside. I think they could make life difficult on Johni, and I think they can shoot it with you. So you better be ready. I know they've had their off nights. I know they had an off night against Tennessee last week and all that stuff, but this is a team that can get up and play. Like Florida is very athletic. They're long. They can shoot. They got playmakers who can get to the rim, get a tough bucket. This is going to be a really, really good game. Top 10 matchup in the jungle, y'all. We got to bring it. So I'm going to finish this one up. I'm going to hop off of here. I think we will be back. I think I might do one Saturday. I might do one Saturday and do a little preview of the Auburn game. See if I can get one of my Florida buddies on here, and we can kind of kick it and get him to answer us some questions. And we'll do that. And then obviously Sunday we should have a post-game show and reaction show to Auburn and Florida. And then Tuesday we're going to start kicking up some football stuff because spring is right around the corner. I know that's crazy to think about. Football season just ended 2 weeks ago, and now we're already talking about spring ball. So we got some football stuff coming up. We're going to talk about position groups and heading into spring and all that good stuff. So got some really good content. I'm about to drop a member pod either tonight or tomorrow whenever I get a little free space of opportunity. Dustin cooked us up a member pod, so I'm going to drop that for you guys. Sign up, become a member, go to your desktop, and there's really good stuff on here, right? Baseball season is about to kick up. Like, we're going to have elite content for baseball. I'm going to do some film reviews of some of our games, look at some guys' swings, fielding, all that good stuff. So a lot of great content coming from the Up Tempo podcast. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. War Damn Eagle. I will catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.